Hey there! Welcome to Life Noggin. Aw, I'm Baby Blocko now. How adorable. Talking with other people is pretty important to a lot of my friends out there in the human world. It's how many of you communicate with each other, from meeting up face to face to talking over the phone. But every now and then I wonder about what if suddenly one day you couldn't speak anymore. Could something like that ever happen? Well, let's start with how a person talks in the first place. In order for you to speak, your brain needs to be able to quickly move everything from your lips and your jaw to your tongue and your voice box. And it's not just one single area in your brain that's in charge of all this. A recent study has found that speech sounds seem to come from coordinated motor patterns involving multiple parts of your brain. So it's a team effort. Woo! Go team. But sometimes there are things in life that can put your ability to speak on the sidelines, like with what happens with aphasia. Aphasia is a disorder in which damage to parts of your brain, often on the left side, impairs your ability to talk and even understand what other people are saying. It can also affect your ability to read and write. This condition can occur suddenly, usually after something like a stroke, but it can also happen from things like a brain tumor or a severe blow to the head. There are different types of aphasia and different levels of how much they can affect your speech, from difficulty repeating words to having trouble naming objects, but the most severe form is called global aphasia. In these cases, your verbal communication abilities are extremely limited. You might only be able to understand a tiny bit of what other people are saying, if anything at all, and you might not be able to speak any recognizable words back. People with this condition also typically can't read or write. So if you were to get aphasia, especially if it was global aphasia, it's possible that it would be like waking up one day and not having the ability to effectively speak anymore. And aphasia is not the only thing that could take away your ability to speak like you used to. There's also psychogenic aphonia, where you can have vocal loss that's thought to stem from psychological factors. But with either of these conditions, it looks like there are ways to overcome them, at least to some degree. Patients with aphasia can have speech-language therapy sessions to improve their ability to communicate, and a study on psychogenic aphonia has shown that people can usually make a full recovery of their voice after not speaking for a while. In the study, researchers looked at 22 psychogenic aphonia patients and found that 21 of them regained their ability to speak after bouts of vocal loss that had ranged from an average of a couple of months to about 3 years. So you might lose your voice for some time, but at least in those cases, it looks like you can get it back. Now, if you were used to talking and suddenly one day couldn't anymore, you might not be able to do things as well as you could before. That's because when you perform a task, it's common to say what you're doing out loud, basically giving yourself verbal instructions on what to do. Turns out, that's pretty helpful. In a 2012 study, researchers looked at how a person performed on tasks when they were given instructions to either silently read to themselves versus when they read instructions out loud. They found that saying the instructions out loud improved a person's performance over when the tasks were done in silence. They also found that relevant verbal instructions boost your concentration on task goals when you're doing multiple things. So there might be more to think about than just losing your ability to speak if you had a condition like aphasia or psychogenic aphonia. Have you ever known someone with any of these conditions? Let me know in the comment section below, or tell us, what should we talk about next? Curious to know what you would experience if your headache never went away? Check out this video. The pain will often manifest itself as an intense throbbing or pulsing sensation on one or both sides of your head. As always, my name is Blocko. This has been Life Noggin. Don't forget to keep on thinking.